work with slate. I work with old roofing slates that have been rejected. And I turn these into functional pieces. Can be clocks, mirrors, picture frames, and also decorative pieces like paintings or garden features. I've been working with slate for over 20 years now. I think we started in '99. It's really nice to work here in this old building, very close to Charleville Castle and very close to the Charleville Forest. The last batch I got was from a house in Gishel, not far from here. It was a 300-year-old house. So these are very, very old slates from a large size, like 50 inches tall, to small slates. So I start from scratch. If I have to make a mirror, the first step is I work outside. I do the rough cuttings, and I use power tools like grinders and drills, and also hand tools like chisels and hammers. So I do the cutting outside, all the rough work, and then I bring the slate inside for the finishing touches. In particular, coloring, which is my distinguishing feature, I think. I use colors. I've kind of developed this technique that I use the angle grinder, for example, as nearly like a pen or a carving tool. Very limited as to what I can do, but yet I have learned to use it to do curves, for example. If you read the instructions of an angle grinder, they tell you, don't cut curves. But, well, I do. I have learned how to do it. I find the hardest part is to apply color, especially if the design is intricate, because I don't use brush. Sometimes I do use brushes, but the way it's applied is rubbed. So it takes a long time. You need a lot of patience to finish, especially a large piece that is full of color. I can never do it at one go. I have to leave it and then come back to it, and then leave it and come back to it until I'm happy with the final result. I use artist oil paints, which come in a solid form. They are metallic paints, and bright colors. Sometimes I use a brush, but they're mostly rubbed onto the slate. One advantage of using this technique is that the texture of the slate comes through. So that's a distinguishing feature of what I do. I'd say the most popular item that I have made in all these years are the pendulum clocks. Somehow I came up with the idea of making pendulum clocks, and some are quite big, long, and they're attractive because of one thing is the pendulum, and then I started incorporating more and more color and design. So this is, I think, my most popular piece. I get satisfaction from physical work, because part of it is physical outside, and you need patience and perseverance. So when you get to the end of it, it takes about a week, sometimes 2 weeks, to finish a piece, and I never know whether it's going to work or not. So at the end of this long period, when it does work, I get a lot of satisfaction. In a world where almost everything is mass-produced, I think it's very refreshing to find handcrafted, unique pieces. When you see somebody who's fully dedicated to and passionately dedicated to a craft, it's very satisfactory. And if you acquire one of these pieces, they give long-time satisfaction as well. I'm always observing and recording in my mind or in notes or photographs. Wherever I go, it could be nature, the streets of a city, traveling, or a book, or the internet. Anything that's an image that I find beautiful or interesting, I try to record it. And I think this kind of informs the designs that I come up with.